Live from Michigan Avenue, this is Good Day Chicago.
Good morning and welcome to Good Day Chicago. I'm Brian Jackson. Here's a look at some of the stories we're following this morning. President Trump addresses the nation about the progress he's made during his second term in office. How Democrats are responding. Several firefighters are honored for their life-saving efforts after 2 people fell into a frozen lake. A little calm and quiet to start this Wednesday morning, but the Chicago area could see a warm-up. Just how soon are we going to see that warm-up, Mike?
Big one coming on Friday. We have to wait a couple days for that to get here, though. Clear skies out there now, but take a look. Just a couple days after being hit with some of the heaviest snow they've ever seen, look what's moving back into parts of the Northeast. Nowhere near as heavy as that last one, but there is more snow falling out there for them. Yikes. Here's what you've got today. A sunnier day than yesterday, a less windy day than yesterday, with temperatures only a few degrees cooler than yesterday. I think we'll hit 36 late this afternoon. Lots of sun at 9:29, just above freezing by noon there with sunny skies, and that afternoon temperature hanging in the mid-30s. Brian?
Well, President Donald Trump spoke for more than an hour and 40 minutes to deliver his State of the Union address, where he talked about a new American golden age. The president covered many topics, from U.S. forces capturing former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro to the U.S. tensions with Iran. During his address, he also talked about his immigration crackdown around the country. He blames Democrats for what he calls open border policies. This is what happened while Trump made his comments on immigration.
I'm also asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
That was Representatives Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib seen yelling at the president. After his address, the governor of Virginia delivered the Democratic response, demanding accountability from ICE agents.
Our president has sent poorly trained federal agents into our cities, where they have arrested and detained American citizens and people who aspire to be Americans. And they have done it without a warrant. They have ripped nursing mothers away from their babies. They have sent children, a little boy in a blue bunny hat, children to far-off detention centers, and they have killed American citizens in our streets. And they have done it all with their faces masked from accountability.
The Virginia governor also called out President Trump for his global tariffs. The president also talked about the controversy surrounding data centers and their high utility bills. During his address, President Trump said his administration told major tech companies that they had to build their own power plants for their data centers. He believes that this will help protect Americans from high energy bills. Residents in Northwest Indiana have repeatedly told Fox Chicago about their issues with high utility bills. Our own Brett Bugansky spoke with a Hamlet resident who wrote a letter to the president regarding the issue.
The message was to please get a hold of Governor Braun and to have him listen to what we are trying to say and what we are desperately looking for help. I told President Trump that, you know, how high our bills have gotten and that we've had a 90% increase in the past 10 years and people just can't afford it anymore. I explained how people are struggling to get groceries or pay their NIPSCO bill, pay their rent, pay their NIPSCO bill. And that is something that we shouldn't have to do. This isn't the Depression era.
Some NIPSCO customers tell Fox Chicago that most of the recent bills have been around $500. Downers Grove police released the body cam footage showing officers questioning and arresting the 19-year-old accused of killing a pregnant woman. The footage captures the hours following the attack. For nearly 2 hours of video, the suspect appears to remain calm, even acting as if nothing happened. Natus Revukis is charged in the murder of 30-year-old Eliza Morales, who was 5 months pregnant at the time of her death. Prosecutors say that Revukis stabbed Morales more than 70 times for setting her and the apartment on fire. Take a listen to what happened when he answered a question about the fire.
I want to let you know, though, that there was a fire at that building. Mm-hmm. Are you aware of that?
No.
No. I'm not worried.
Put your hands behind your back.
Still got.
Is due back in court on March 3rd. 3 firefighters in Cary received big honors after rescuing 2 people who fell through an icy lake. 2 of the firefighters were off duty when it happened in January. Darlene Bedden and Nathan Fenning were fishing at Lake Killarney when the ice underneath them broke. Firefighters Ben and Cody Delatorre, who also happened to be brothers, came running from their house to help. And eventually firefighter Kyler Ochap arrived with his dive gear to assist with the rescue.
I did same way, coming from home, going right out there. With his extension cord or not, I still would have went out there and tried to pull him out.
I was there first, and I saw them both in the water, and I was like, well, luckily I got my extension cord, and then I saw my brother coming up the street in his truck. I'm like, oh, I got another person here with me.
It feels good. It feels good that everybody's okay and everything worked out.
For their heroic efforts, the firefighters all received a plaque with their names on it. Indiana lawmakers advanced a bill to bring the Bears across state lines. The bill funds the construction of a new stadium for the team in Hammond. Since the bill was amended in committee, it still needs to be approved by the Indiana State Senate and then signed by Governor Mike Braun and to go into effect. Well, 3 Republican candidates for governor of Illinois talked about the Bears Stadium. It is part of our Chicago Tonight debate series. Take a listen to what each candidate had to say about the ongoing situation.
Do you support Illinois legislation that would give the Bears the ability to negotiate their property tax rates with the municipality?
I don't. I think right now we have the highest property taxes in the country. People are just getting destroyed, whether Southern Illinois, Central Illinois, or even on the west side where they were burning their property tax bills. We should do all the public infrastructure that's fair and necessary that the public benefits from to support a stadium, but we shouldn't give the Bears anything, and we certainly should not give them breaks. But I love the Bears. I want them here.
So, yes, I have a diverse opinion than my opponent. I believe we should be keeping the Bears, and I think if we can get a stadium, especially a dome stadium, we'll get Super Bowls, we can do UFCs, concerts, pay-per-views.
Bears have every right to own their own stadium. They have 326 acres in Arlington Heights that they bought 3 years ago. I say that if I was governor, that stadium would be half built right now. What we're doing is we have a city inside of a city with 326 acres. It's so much more than a huge dome. And we get the Super Bowl, hundreds of millions of dollars coming of economic growth to our region.
Well, a Super Bowl in Chicago would certainly be nice, be even nicer if we were actually playing in the Super Bowl.
That would be all the better, wouldn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, Bears coaches in front office, they're busy in Indianapolis trying to shore up the roster so that they can eventually play in that Super Bowl, Mike.
Yeah, lots of chatter. You and I were talking about some rumors dealing with Tyson Bagent yesterday. All right, the Bears are going to take some time to interview draft prospects and keep an eye on their drills during the NFL Combine this week. Both head coach Ben Johnson and Bears GM Ryan Poles spoke at the Combine yesterday, going over multiple topics. One of them, Ian Cunningham. Remember, he got that GM job with the Falcons, and the Bears didn't get Bupkis. No compensatory picks.
We're going to communicate through the right channels, not trying to make a lot of noise from it. I try to make it very clear the energy and effort to help develop Ian is for his development, and really it was for us to be as successful as we could be as a football team and putting the roster together. Delegated a lot to him. So that when he had the opportunity to get into the GM chair, he was further along than I was. So he had the least amount of blind spots as possible. And the conversation that I had with the Falcons was being very clear with that. Like, they're going to guy that I'd find it hard to believe there's many guys, first-time GMs, that were going to be as prepared as Ian. And they should find that out, and they should have some success too.
It would have been nice to get some picks, but maybe, might be, could be. We have clear skies out there this morning. It is not as windy as it was yesterday. We finally got up to 39 yesterday at about 8:30 at night. That was the warmest part of the day. Today, we start, for the most part, in the upper 20s. A couple of spots are still 30-plus, including Gary and Chicago's Lakefront. Got 29 at Waukegan, Joliet, and also in Merrillville. Just a little bit of wind out there. A few places reporting a 10-mile-an-hour wind or so coming out of the west. And so we do have a little bit of a wind chill. Once again, it is cold out there. Feels like 15 at Aurora, 19 at Chicago Heights, and 16 at Woodstock. Get the winter coat on. Today, though, you're going to see a lot of sunshine. Take a look at our Weather Authority Futurecast. Shows beautiful sunny skies all day long. That will make that temperature in the mid-30s this afternoon maybe feel a little warmer than yesterday's upper 30s. There you saw 2 little blips of snow missing us to the south. I just think that this is what I like to refer to as a nothing burger in terms of this next snowstorm. That is going to stay well to our south. On Thursday, a little bit of an increase in cloud cover early in the day. Then we'll break out into some sunshine. And then we get ready for the big warm-up on Friday. I think we can be well into the 50s here with plenty of sunshine here to close out the work week. Today, chilly but seasonably so. 36 degrees for the high, lots of sunshine, and a west wind at about 8 to 18. Tonight, we'll drop it down to 22. A few of the usual cold suspects may see upper teens tonight, but it'll be mainly clear. 42 tomorrow. Put a 20% chance of maybe a couple of flakes as far north as the Illinois River. 55 on Friday. Then it gets cold again with a couple of snow showers possible Saturday and again Sunday. Temperatures running just a little bit colder than normal for the first couple of days next week.
Well, coming up on Good Day, scammers these days, they're relying on a new tool to steal your personal information. We'll explain how artificial intelligence has been playing a very big role.
Message.
Here's a look at some of our top stories. President Donald Trump holds his State of the Union address on Capitol Hill. He talked about many topics, from U.S. forces capturing former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro to the U.S. tensions with Iran, as well as immigration crackdown across the country. 3 firefighters in Cary received some big honors after rescuing 2 people who fell through an icy lake. The 2 people were fishing at Lake Killarney when the ice underneath them broke. 2 firefighters came running from their house to help. The 3rd later arrived with his dive gear. Indiana lawmakers advanced a bill to bring the Bears across state lines. The bill funds the construction of a new stadium for the team in Hammond. Since the bill was amended in committee, it still needs approval by the Indiana State Senate and then signed by Governor Mike Braun to go into effect. An American tourist in Mexico is sharing his experience in the midst of those clashes between the Mexican army and a cartel. 57-year-old Steve Perkins was visiting Puerto Vallarta with his wife and friends when warfare broke out in the city. Cartel members became enraged following the death of drug lord El Mencho. The Oklahoma resident says he and his wife were having coffee on their hotel terrace when explosions and gunfire started.
We heard an explosion and really didn't think too much of it because we often hear construction noise, going on around downtown. So thought somebody dropped something or propane tank exploded or something. But then I got up to check it out and saw a big plume of black smoke rising up just a few blocks from us. And then a few minutes later, another big boom a little bit further away from us and another big black column of smoke.
The cartel leader died in a shootout with the Mexican military on Sunday after Mexican officials found his location by tracking one of his romantic partners. The Guthrie family is now offering a $1 million reward for information leading to the return of their mother, Nancy, who's now been missing for over 3 weeks. Savannah shared a new video saying that while they remain hopeful, their family realizes that the search for their mother may not end with her rescue.
She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves. And if this is what is to be, then we will accept it. But we need to know where she is. We need her to come home.
A source close to that investigation told Fox Digital that the suspect caught on Guthrie's doorbell camera may have shown up before her disappearance. But the Pima County Sheriff's Office has called this strictly speculation, saying all the photos released by the FBI were from February 1st, the day Nancy went missing. Well, more scammers. They're now turning to artificial intelligence to fake emails, texts, and phone calls. Now, these tactics aren't exactly new, but the technology is making fraud a little bit harder to spot. The FBI typically leads cybercrime investigations, but the United States Postal Inspection Service plays a critical role as well. Oftentimes, what starts as a scam over text, email, or social media may lead to a fraudster requesting money through the mail. Next week is National Consumer Protection Week, and the USPIS is urging consumers to watch for red flags. If you're targeted, here's what you should do.
Do not feel ashamed. Report it. Go to uspis.gov/report. Report the incident. Save any kind of communication you have with the scammer. Save any kind of bank documents. Contact your bank to try and stop those payments if it hasn't already gone through. The sooner you're able to get a hold of the postal inspectors, the sooner we're able to help as far as investigations and potentially even getting some of that money back.
According to the USPIS, 1 in 5 Americans have lost money to an online scam, costing $12 billion last year alone. Time now 4:48, checking in with Mike. Just how cold are we talking this morning, Mike?
Well, most of us are in the upper 20s right now. Not quite as cold as it was yesterday, but temperature-wise, it's going to be about the same as it was yesterday. We maxed out at only 39, a little bit of a temperature disappointment yesterday, and that 39 didn't happen until after dark. Today, I think we'll get up to 36 this afternoon, but give the kids the winter coats this morning for that yellow stretch limo. There'll be plenty of sunshine throughout the day, though, 33 degrees at noon. It also won't be as windy, and with that sun out there, it may not feel too shabby. 27 at Woodstock, 29 in LaSalle, Peru, and also Merrillville. We've got 28 at O'Hare along Chicago's lakefront, just a touch less cold where it is 31 degrees. Storm system, would you believe it? They're going to get more snow in places like New York, Philadelphia, Boston, and Providence. Not as heavy as what they had over the weekend, but any additional snow now cannot be welcome there. This next storm system, this is the one that a couple of days ago looked somewhat threatening for our area. It's going too far south, so it's not going to be a problem here. In fact, tomorrow may not be that bad of a day. A mixture of clouds and sun with temperatures getting up into the 40s. And then Friday, beautiful sunny skies and a big warm up. We're going way into the 50s here, but look what is lurking to the north. A punch of Arctic air for the weekend, and with that colder air in place, that might mean a couple of scattered opportunities for snow both Saturday and again Sunday. Right?
Well, coming up on Good Day, a 7-year-old girl receives a huge honor for saving one of her parents. We're going to share the details when we return.
Chicago.
An old hotel on the south side is getting some new life. The Hotel Florence is at 111th and Forestville Avenue in the Pullman neighborhood, and it's part of the larger Pullman National Historic Park. It was built back in 1881 and named after George Pullman's daughter. The state took it over in 1991. Governor J.B. Pritzker shared the future plans for this hotel.
Boutique hotel rooms, fine restaurants and dining, a world-class performing arts venue and event space. Hotel Florence will again become a destination for visitors, whether they're coming from down the street or anywhere around the world.
A developer has been chosen and a woman-owned architecture firm. They both have connections to the Pullman area. Construction is expected to start in March of 2027. New this morning, a 7-year-old girl in Linwood received the key to the city after first responders say that she saved her father's life.
911 emergency.
No. My dad fell down the stairs.
Well, that was 7-year-old Maya Dates calling 911 and talking to dispatchers until paramedics arrived. Her mom was at work while she was home alone with her father, Xavier Dates, when he lost his footing while going down the stairs and then lost consciousness. Mia saw her dad on the ground, ran to the phone, and immediately called 911. She received the key to the city during a village board meeting. What a great story for sure. And heads up, and great job by those parents teaching their kids what to do in the case of an emergency.
You aren't kidding. That's fantastic. She was is 7, is what you're saying?
Yes, 7 years old. And
bright young lady,
too.
Mia. Well done there. Daddy's going to buy you a car in 9 years.
Yeah.
Bank on that. All right, let's talk about more snow for the Northeast. Can you believe it? After getting 2 to 3 feet of snow in some parts of New England, in the mid-Atlantic, here comes more snow today. This is part of the same front that came through here last night. And we barely had anything at all. A couple of sprinkles, that was about it. Currently, we're in good shape here. In fact, skies are basically clear. Temperatures on the cold side, though. Take a look at the current numbers. We've got 29 at Joliet, Midway, and Waukegan. 28 Michigan City and Valparaiso. A few spots clinging to 30. Lakefront, Gary, and Merrillville. But this is going to be another day you want the winter coats on. I think we'll max out. Not that far from what we saw yesterday during the afternoon, quite honestly, 36 degrees. And the fact that it won't be as windy and it will be sunnier may actually feel nicer outside this afternoon than it did yesterday afternoon. 7-day forecast, we have one really, really nice day, and that's going to be Friday with a high temperature of 55 at least, with plenty of sunshine. But look what gets in here over the weekend as we transition into meteorological spring with the beginning of March. We have cold air and a chance for some snow showers here both Saturday and Sunday. Maybe a mixture of some rain and snow arriving on Tuesday, with temperatures remaining a little bit below normal for the first few days of meteorological spring. 5 minutes before 5. We'll be back right after this.
and Fox Local.
More negotiations are on the table between the U.S. and Iran. The U.S. currently has the largest amount of warships and aircraft carriers in the Middle East in decades. President Trump has repeatedly signaled that military strikes will happen if the two sides cannot reach a deal on Iran's nuclear program. A new round of talks is set for this week in Switzerland. The U.S. Supreme Court rules that Americans cannot sue the U.S. Postal Service. The justices ruled against a Texas landlord in a 5-4 decision. The landlord claims that her mail was intentionally withheld by USPS employees for 2 years. Justice Clarence Thomas says that federal law generally shields the Postal Service from lawsuits over missing, lost, or undelivered mail, including purposely undelivered mail. Spirit Airlines says it has reached a deal with lenders allowing the low-cost carrier to exit bankruptcy. The airline says it expects to emerge from bankruptcy by early summer. However, it will undergo changes such as reducing flights and expanding premium seating options. We'll be right back.